Full time at the Etihad, Manchester City won, Everton won. Again, Manchester City do not win. It's a disappointing draw against Everton, who have drawn against Arsenal and Chelsea. But in hindsight of the game, it's a poor result for Manchester City. Erling Haaland, there's been a lot of talk of him recently. I said in my last video with Manchester City that maybe Erling Haaland should be looked at being dropped. So you can get a player in that position like Phil Foden, who can play as a false nine and can get more involved in the game instead of being so disconnected like Haaland is and isolated up front. He had his chances today, Haaland, and he had a few in the first half, and he had the penalty and he missed it. And you know, looking at the winless run, the run that we're on, the form that Manchester City are in, missing a penalty twice even. He missed a penalty earlier last month in November against Sporting Lisbon. He missed a penalty then. It wasn't really as decisive. We lost 4-1 that game. If he scored, it would have been 3-2 at the time. But still, very, very disappointing for Manchester City. I just wanted to look at the game. You know what? Judging by Man City's recent form, they've played very well actually, especially in the first half. They started brightly. They look like the old Manchester City. You know, the City is so used to winning. It was a really good performance to start with, Manchester City. At the 3 minutes in, you could see Foden with the cross, Gvardiol getting the header and hitting the post so close. At this point, when I'm watching the game, I'm thinking Manchester City, they might cruise to victory for once. It's a great header from Gvardiol, so unlucky to hit the post. Foden, every player had a really good game. Doku, another chance. Bernardo Silva, when he's getting the goal, deflected, lucky, maybe, but is a brilliant goal. Very well worked. Jeremy Doku, who can be a very good player, a world-class player. We can see here Bernardo Silva getting in the end of his pass, deflected and lucky. But it's a goal. Ake with the long ball over the top, Foden collecting it. Bernardo Silva should have scored. That would have been game over. He should have scored. It's a disappointing, I wanted to say, it is very disappointing finish from Bernardo Silva. You have to get on target. You can't miss those chances, especially with the 4-man City are in. You've got to score those chances, and he missed. And I think from there, Everton kind of believed they had the chance. If City scored, it would have been game over. There's no doubt about that. And it's a very disappointing finish from Bernardo Silva. If Bernardo Silva did score that chance, it would have been game over for Manchester City. It would have been finished. It would have been 2-0, and Everton wouldn't have had the chance to get back into the game. But he allowed them with the chance, and that miss is horrible. Off target, you gotta test Pickford. You gotta test the keeper, especially when recently you haven't been having many chances. You haven't had many chances to score. You gotta take your opportunities, and that's the first big opportunity Man City missed that day. And then with that, Everton go up the other end. It's a great touch and a great finish, and there's a goal. That's it. It's as simple as that. One chance for Everton, one goal. It shouldn't happen. Rico Lewis loses his man. He's got one player to mark. He doesn't get him, and it's gone. And that's it. All they need in this league, in Premier League, is one chance, and they'll take it. I don't even know what to say, honestly. It's very disappointing, and City couldn't really get back into this game. Everton had something they could hang on to. With a draw, they'll take a draw against Man City. They took a draw against Chelsea and Arsenal. They'd take a draw against Man City too. Great finish, honestly. You have to give credit to him and Everton, really. The whole game really had belief, something Man City lack in these past couple of games. Second half starts, and then from there it's a repeat of the other games. It's just Man City try to knock on the door and they can't. That's it. Kovacic had this chance at the start of the first half. The game was over by there, and City had a lifeline. Savinho tripped up in a box, is a penalty, clear penalty, no chance about it. And Erling Haaland, the man who I talked about last week, we should look at maybe alternatives for dropping him and putting Foden in at the false 9. He gets a penalty. And honestly, it's a good save by Pickford, but it's a poor penalty from Haaland. I don't know if Pickford got into his head or something, or maybe recent form has took away his confidence. But it's a poor penalty, and he scored, but it was offside anyway. Really disappointing. And then from there, you almost felt as if Manchester City weren't going to come away with the 3 points. You knew Everton wasn't going to score, and I think Man City had to, after they got the goal, had to rely on Everton not scoring, because Everton had been poor. I mean, like, we talk about them getting points at big clubs, at Chelsea, at Arsenal, excuse me, but they didn't score in those games either. And you have to look at that and you have to think, wow, Everton aren't the #1 team, or even top 10 teams, or even top 15 teams in scoring in the league. Man City should have kept a clean sheet, and I banked on Man City keeping a clean sheet. It was just about Manchester City scoring, and once they scored, you almost felt that the game was away from Everton. But credit to Everton, they got back in the game. But it's poor from Manchester City. Leaves them 7th in the table now, after the games played on Thursday. You know, City, the title's out of the question, no doubt. It's just about getting top 4 now. And what can you say, really? Disappointing game. City had chances this time, something they didn't have last time, but what can you say, really? Well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please comment your thoughts, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.